This is an interesting top 10. I'm not gonna lie, once we get to the top 4, it's kind of interesting depending on how you look at it. But the one thing I really wanted to talk about this week was my strategy of listing, like items I list, the categories I list in, and just explain to you what my thought process is. I started off with literally one item in my inventory, and now I'm currently sitting right under 2,500 items in my inventory. Welcome back, everybody. I was looking forward to tell you today that spring has sprung and I was going to record this video in a pair of shorts and t-shirt because this week the weather has been phenomenal. It's been in the mid-50s all week. All the snow we got from the blizzard last week has already melted, and I thought we were good to go, and I've been wearing shorts and tank tops all week. And then this morning I woke up, Bandit gave me the international dad, I got to go to the bathroom. And I woke up early and I was like, I'm going to film early today, edit early today, and get everything done and out to you guys. And then I opened the front door and it was below 30 degrees and it was lightly snow flurrying. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go back to bed for another couple of hours. So me and the dogs went back to bed. So here I am in a hoodie, wearing my wool pajama pants, staying warm on another Sunday. Hopefully next week we'll be in shorts and tank tops. You might remember me saying this last week with an occasional dip week. Like already, it's currently 11:30 in the morning here, and I haven't got a sale yet, which is very unusual for a Sunday. And I kind of always gauge how my week's going to be by how my Sunday is. And if Sunday's a slow day for me, it usually means my week's going to be slow. And that turned out to be true. We had a real slow start to the week this week, but as soon as Wednesday hit, she kicked in and it went right back to a normal week, and we almost balanced out. A little bit below that 30 average. But going through, this is an interesting top 10. I'm not gonna lie, once we get to the top 4, it's kind of interesting depending on how you look at it. And I also wanted to share with you my brain set and my idea of my strategy of what I list, why I list it, see if I can have it make sense to you guys, and just show you what I do and what my thought process is. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the numbers. So this week we had a gross sales week of $575, which was a net sales of $313, which equals out to be an average gross per sale of $23 with an average net per sale of $12.51, making our net profit margin for the week 54% with an average net profit margin per sale of 52%. Getting into the top 10 sources by net return. So I created a new category of listing. I used to have these certain items fall under donated. Now I changed it to donated 5x5, and that's taking the number 1 spot. And there's a reason. You will see why I created a separate donated category, because it's from a very specific lot. Also, number 2, sunglasses. Sunglasses have been moving like crazy this week. I only think there's one pair on the top 10 because they all roughly make anywhere from $8 to $12 net profit per sale. So rarely do they make the top 10, but there was a bunch of them this week. Then there's a mixture of thrift stores and remotes. This was a lighter week for remotes. I think I only sold 2 remotes all week, which is totally fine. Some weeks we sell 15, some weeks we sell 2. That's just the nature of selling on eBay. I spent $18.44 on new inventory this week. Well, at least new inventory that was listed. Cost of goods sold was $47.05. I paid eBay a total of $82.12 in marketplace fees. And shipping labels cost me $122 this week. I did go sourcing this week. I obviously spent more than $18.44. I just haven't listed all the items yet because I'm still working through a backlog of my death pile while also listing a couple new things from my pile. This week we also continued the goal of listing 12 a day, which was a total of 84 for the week. And we're below that new 30 average of 25. Maybe we're starting to level off of reaching those over 30 sales a week. I don't know. It was a slower week though, and I had that feeling going into Sunday. However, I will say, as of today, I woke up and my outgoing mail for tomorrow, the bin's already getting filled up. So I woke up to 5 sales this morning. So we already are seeing a more promising start to this weekend as we were to last weekend. Last Sunday, we only got 2 sales. Monday, 2 sales. I got skunked on Tuesday, which always stinks. But then once Wednesday came, it turned around and we went back to our averaging about 5 to 6 items. Jumping into the top 10, number 10 are these new with tags Foster's Grant Iron Man sunglasses. I picked these sunglasses up on eBay for $1.12. They sold on eBay for $20.50. That was $15 for the sunglasses, $5.15 for the shipping. The actual cost to ship this item was $4.08. That provided me a net return of $12.02, which was a 1,073% return on investment and a 59% net profit margin. Number 9 sale of the week are these Ralph Lauren's men's 3830 tweed dress pants, 100% wool. I picked these up for $3.07 at a Goodwill. They sold on eBay for $26.34. That was $17.49 for the pants, $8.85 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $6.07. That provided me a net return of $13.54, which was a 441% return on investment and a 51% net profit margin. And the number 8 sale of the week are these vintage unbranded wooden speakers. I picked these up in a garage sale. And there was, at this garage sale, there was like an old 70s stereo system and a couple records that came along with it. And I got the whole thing, the record player, the speakers, and the records for a total of $18. And I broke it up into the speakers, the record player, and the records separately. And the only thing I had left were these speakers. So after I separated everything apart, they got a purchase price of $6. They sold on eBay this week for $42.49. That was $17.49 for the speakers, $25 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $17.42, which provided me a net return of $13.23, which was a 232% return on investment and a 33% net profit margin. Number 7 sale of the week is this women's mediums Menards employee store jacket. For those of you who aren't graced to have a Menards in your area of the world, Menards is like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It's a regional Midwestern hardware store. And I personally think it's one of the best hardware stores, greatest selection. And they also have, this is going to sound super weird before I even say it, they have the best plastic bags. I have a friend who comes up to Wisconsin from Colorado every year, and they love shopping at Menards just so they can stock up on the plastic bags, because that's how good their store plastic bags are. Like what you buy and get things put into, they have the best quality. So I picked this employee jacket up at a St. Vincent's for $3.21. It sold on eBay for $28.02. That was $16.62 for the jacket, $11.40 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $6.45. That provided me a net return of $14.62, which was a 455% return on investment and a 52% net profit margin. Number 6 sale of the week, one of my favorite things to sell, vintage Wrangler Western shirt with pearl snaps. I picked this up for $3.74 at a local Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $28.35. That was $22 for the shirt, $6.35 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.62. That provided me a net return of $16.08, which was a 430% return on investment and a 57% net profit margin. Any pearl snap Western shirts are one of my favorite things to sell because no matter what, they will always move. People always buy pearl snap Western shirts. So if you can get them in good condition for a good price, make sure you're picking those up. And not only the Wrangler brand, any brand really will work. And the number 5 sale of the week is this Nike Ace yellow logo men's XL rare red label tank top. So normally I'm not big on picking up t-shirts and tank tops, but every now and then I'll come across one where I'm like, man, this feels vintage, this feels old. Let me look up and look into it. And when I saw this one, there was just something about this particular tank top where I'm like, I need to look this up. And I found out that red label Nike clothes are the vintage ones. So if you ever see them where they have the red neck tag label, look them up. I'm not saying buy them if they have the red tag, but look them up because certain red labels are worth some good money. And when I found this one. I looked it up. I saw the sell-through rate on them was really good. I picked this one up for $2.68 at a Salvation Army. It's sold on eBay for $30.20. That was $24 for the shirt, $6.20 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.52, which provided me a net return of $18.26, which was a 681% return on investment and a 60% net profit margin. All right, this is the point where it's going to get interesting. You might remember last week I sold this. Number 2 sale of the week is this George Lowe Space Ghost 8.5 by 11 autograph print. As I've told you, I received these stack of autographs from my brother, who received them from a mutual friend of ours. I have a stack of like 20 of these, and my plan from the very beginning was to only release them one at a time. I sold 2 months back, sold one, listed a new one, sold that, listed another one, sold that one last week, and then this week I listed a new one. I believe it was last Saturday night or Sunday was when I listed another one, and it sold on eBay for $34.65, which was $28 for the autograph 8.5 by 11 and $6.35 for the shipping. Now, I've said since I've gotten these, when I looked them up and first started selling them months ago, they were going for, well, a George Lowe autograph. The higher end was $35. So I listed these for $34.98. And I've always said if somebody offered me more than $28 for it, I would auto accept it and take it over $28. So this one, somebody offered me exactly $28. I accepted the offer. The actual cost to ship this item was $4.62. That provided me a net return of $24.34, which is an infinite return on investment and a 71% net profit margin. And the number 3 sale of the week is this George Lowe Space Ghost autograph 8.5 by 11. So as soon as I sold that one, I listed the other one for $34 even. Somebody came in and sent me an offer for $29.73, which I accepted. So it sold on eBay for $36.03, which was $29.73 for the autograph, $6.30 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.57. That provided me a net return of $26.69, which was an infinite return on investment and a 74% net profit margin. And the number 2 sale of the week is this Nikon Coolpix L4 4.0 megapixel digital camera with manual. Clean, tested, working, had a video showing it worked. I picked this camera up from a local mom and pop thrift store for $3.02. It sold on eBay for $40.34, which was $33.98 for the camera, $6.40 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $6.57, which provided me a net return of $26.75, which was an 886% return on investment and a 66% net profit margin. And again, like I tell you guys with all electronics, if you have the ability to take a short video showing it working that you can put in the listing, I guarantee it will help you move that sale super quick. As you can see, this camera sold in 2 days. And I highly recommend digital cameras are a great product to pick up if you can find them at the right price. Make sure you look every single one of them up. And obviously the condition, if they're working or not, is super important to know. So digital cameras are always good. And that brings us to the number 1 sale of the week, which is yet again another George Lowe Space Ghost autograph 8.5 by 11 print. Yes, that is the 3rd one of this week. This one sold on eBay for $41.38, the full asking price of $34.98 and $6.40 shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.33. That provided me a net return of $30.61, which was an infinite return on investment and a 74% net profit margin. I don't know what was going on this week, but George Lowe Space Ghost autographs were popping through the roof. I would list one on one day and it would literally sell the next day. As you can see, this one, it took an hour for it to sell from the time it listed to the time it sold, which is absolutely amazing. Now, when I first initially listed the first autograph back in September, it took about a month to sell. And I noticed it had hundreds of views, dozens of watchers on it. And then that one sold. The second one it took 2 months to sell, maybe more, maybe a little bit more than that. But again, hundreds of watchers, hundreds of views, dozens of watchers. And then the last one that sold last week, same story, listed it, sat for a little while, always got a ton of views and tons of watchers. When that one sold last week, that one triggered something where when I posted it, the views instantly climbed, the watchers instantly climbed, sell. And then this week I posted the second one, views climb, watchers climb, sell. So I don't know what it is about this early springtime, or if it's the time of year, or if something happened with George Lowe, where George Lowe autographs are in demand right now. But I literally sold 3 George Lowe Space Ghost autographs in the span of this week for a net profit of $24 or better per sign. So if you do come across any George Lowe autographs, now's the time to sell it. And I'm still sitting on I think there's probably 12 left in my stack, plus the one I have currently listed right now. So hopefully these sales continue. If not, and a lot of you might be saying, well, if you have all these, why don't you just list them at all? I don't want to flood the market. If I flood the market with George Lowe autographs, then I'm not going to get a good value for it. As to where right now, I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only George Lowe autographs on the market. And if I keep slow trickling these out, I can ask for a little bit higher price, since I'm the only one in town who has them right now. And obviously it worked out really well. And again, I'm not being completely greedy with that. Like I said, I'm willing to take less for them, but I'm slow trickling them out into the audience. And obviously a bulk of my money this week were made in these autographs, good enough to cover 3 of the top 4 sales spots of the week. And that concludes our top 10 sales this week. And again, there's really just not much going on in the community to talk about, and if there is, I guess I'm just not plugged into the information. But the one thing I really wanted to talk about this week was my strategy of listing, like items I list, the categories I list in, and just explain to you what my thought process is. So when I started this, I knew first decision I had to make was, do I want to be an everything seller, or do I want to be a niche seller? And knowing me and my personality type, I couldn't do niche selling, because if I just sold one thing, I would get bored really quickly, because I'm the type of person who, when I learn something, I want to learn everything about it and gather as much knowledge as I can and constantly grow on it. And if I just did one category, I know me, and I know, like, once I felt like I had the wealth of knowledge, I would just be uninterested in it. So I wanted to be an everything seller who did side niches to steady out. And the first one I decided to explore was, I say men's shirts, because that's the majority of what I sell, but just clothing in general would I consider one of my sub niches, because it's easy to source. No matter what thrift store you go to, they're going to have a big clothing section. And if you're a fiscally smart shopper who looks for the discounts and the deals of the day and the sales of the week, you're going to be able to pick up clothes for a good price. And as long as you're doing your due diligence. Now, when I first started, I didn't do due diligence. I was literally just a poke and a prayer, like, oh, this shirt looks cool, I'll pick it up and take it home. I'm sure I have a lot of shirts that I'll hang on to for a long time, but the more I've done it, I've gotten better, and I'm starting to pick up good things like that Nike Red Label you saw on the top 10 this week, or the Wrangler Pearl Snaps. Like Wrangler Western Pearl Snap shirts are just one that's like, if I can get it for under $4, I'm gonna buy it, because I know I'll turn a profit on it. Then I evolved it to, so I was always selling men's shirts or clothes, plus just random whatever wares I found. Then I decided I wanted to branch off into sunglasses last summer to add into it. And then I started selling a fixed amount of shirts, a fixed amount of sunglasses, and sunglasses really took off from the beginning. Like right away, once I got into it, I saw the profitability. So sunglasses, the plan there is, I know that I'm not going to sell thousands of them a week, but I'll sell a couple a week. And the profit margin on sunglasses is so high that it's okay for me to say I'm not going to sell all of them in the matter of 3 months. I have no problem having those sit on my shelf for a couple months waiting for them to sell. They don't take up much space. They're easy to photograph. They're easy to list. They're easy to package and ship. And a big important thing, they're lightweight, so they're reasonable to ship, which entices customers to always buy them. And like, people always are looking for sunglasses. And I'm not selling high-end expensive brand sunglasses. I'm literally selling the same sunglasses that Walmart has a contract to sell in their stores, which is the Foster's Grant line, which includes Foster's Grant, West Loop, Body Glove, Panama Jack, Iron Man. That's the sunglasses I sell. The ones that appeal to the general population, you know, they're not super expensive, but they're not dirt cheap either. They're good quality, and there's a reason Walmart has them on their shelves. And Walmart right now is selling a cheap pair of sunglasses for $35, as to where I'm selling the same brand of sunglasses anywhere from $10 to $25, depending on the sunglass that it is. But they're starting out like their cheap pairs are really expensive. I saw one pair of Foster's Grant at Walmart last week that was $74, and I came home and I was like, yeah, I got the exact same pair in my inventory, and I'm selling them for $16. So, but they are like last year's model. That is one thing. I don't sell the new year model. I sell the year's previous models. And then sunglasses expanded into remote controls. Remote controls was not as a quick start as sunglasses were. I had to sit on the remotes for a little bit, but once I did, and I think it was just eBay, like, I think eBay algorithm has something when you branch into a new category, it's not pushing you until you actually make a few sales in that category, and then the algorithm will strap the rocket to your back. And remotes have thankfully taken off, and as of right now, all clothes, remotes, and sunglasses have all paid for themselves since starting to do it in less than a year of being on. So every time you see me sell a pair of sunglasses, a remote control, or a shirt, know that I'm in the pure profit at less than a year. At less than a year into this business, everything I'm making at this point, between my three niche categories of clothes, sunglasses, and remotes, I've already passed the break-even point where everything is already paid for itself, and I'm in pure profit, which is absolutely awesome. And I'm hundreds of dollars in the pure profit in every category. Now, how do I list those categories? Because I have three categories that I consider my niche, and I list 12 items a day. Here's how I break down the 12 items I list a day. Every single day, I list 3 articles of clothing, 3 sunglasses, 3 remote controls, and then 3 wildcard categories. That 3 wildcard categories could literally be anything day to day. It could be baseball caps, it could be baseball gloves, it could be stereos, it could be purses. This week I got quite a few purses in. I got 2 Coach purses, one listed yesterday. Today I'll be listing a Coach purse. DVDs are a great fluffer item, because I'm a believer in eBay likes you listing daily. So there's a lot of things that I sell with slow sell-through rates that are smaller dollar, just to try to feed the algorithm and please the algorithm. And DVDs are a great void fill for that. And when they sell, you make a couple of bucks profit off it. You're not getting rich off it, but you're still constantly getting those listings done daily. And little things like that are easy to list. Remote controls are easy to list and lightweight. Sunglasses, easy to list, lightweight. DVDs, easy to list, lightweight. None of them are going to make you a millionaire, but they're going to sell, they're going to move, and they're going to keep your algorithm boost going. While you find those big things like Coach purses, cool picks, Nikon cameras, donated George Lowe autographs, which are big ticket items that fill in. So my plan and strategy is, I have the remotes and the sunglasses as small ticket categories that should be consistent sellers throughout every single week. I can always, usually guaranteed, make $80 profit on sunglasses a week. Remotes are sitting anywhere between the $50 to $75 profit a week category for me. That's money that I can generally rely on coming in every week from 2 categories that are slower sellers, but they're high profit margin items. And then that leaves clothes to where I get, I won't say big ticket prices. Some clothes you can get big ticket prices for, but not all. But a lot of them, another slow trickle in. It's kind of a mix. And then that third category, that's where I'm trying to incorporate more big ticket items, such as Nikon cameras, Coach purses. I I got Coach boots right now for sale. I got a good deal on Coach boots that I'm selling and getting those high value ticket items in. So I'm trying to do a mix. I'm trying to be a virtual department store. I'm trying to be a virtual Walmart. And I think one of the biggest keys to my success I didn't try to do everything all at once. I've slowly built on the business. I started off with literally one item in my inventory, and now I'm currently sitting right under 2,500 items in my inventory. And I understand not everybody can do a high item store, but I have the room right now for a high item store. And that was the option I wanted to go, because the way I think about this is, and I don't do quantity listings. So if I have 5 of the same pair of sunglasses, I don't do one listing with a quantity of 5. I literally have 5 individual listings for each pair of sunglasses, and each pair of sunglasses gets their own pictures. I take a picture of every single pair of sunglasses. So when you look at one of my listings, whatever you see in the picture is what's going to get delivered to your house when you buy it. I don't know why, but I'm a firm believer in whatever you see in the pictures is what you should ship to the customer. So everybody's expectations are on track. It's worked out well for me so far. I understand it's not what everybody does, and that's fine. You do what you got to do in your business. That's your decision to make. I'm just telling you what I do in mine. I also do videos for anything that's a mechanical or electronical to show that it's working. I think that's one of the reasons my remote business took off, is because all 600 remotes I have in my inventory right now, if you go click on the listing, there's a video showing that remote working on camera. Like the IR light that sends out the signal is lighting up, and you can see that. So these are just small tips, and I'm a firm believer that every listing that you put out there is another fishing line in the water. And if you're fishing and you want to catch fish on a big level, you cast as many lines as you possibly can. So that's why I'm doing a high volume store right now and trying to cast as many lines as I do. Because when you go, so if I did quantity listings, let's say I have, of my 700 pairs of sunglasses I currently have listed, let's say I only had 300 different models of sunglasses. I have 700, but there's only 300 different models of the sunglasses in those 700 listings. If somebody goes onto eBay and searches cheap sunglasses or affordable sunglasses, well, that's a generic search. What has a more likelihood of showing a majority of your listings? If you do quantity listings where you only see 300 of your listings, or if you have individual listings where there's 700 out there of the same one. People generally go for the quickest option when they do a search. It's usually within the first 10 of the search items are the ones that they decide that they're going to end up buying. So I'm a firm believer, the more lines you cast, the more abilities you are going to catch a fish. It's also the reason why I put 2% promotion on all listings, just to throw me up in the algorithm and get me to the top of lists when people search. So that's a breakdown of how I run my business, that my thought process on why I do it. I'm curious if you disagree with anything I said. How do you run your business? What success have you seen? And what would your recommendations be to anybody who's trying to think about changing their business plan up? Right now, I'm very happy with how my business plan is working. I don't foresee me changing anything super hard. I do want to start leveling off on my daily listings and bring that 12 listings down to probably 8, which is going to happen sooner than later. I thought I was going to do it at 2,000 listings, but I decided I actually have more room. I thought I was running out of room. The thing was, I was just stocking up on big bulky items. I'm trying to get less big bulky items that take up a lot of space and try investing more into smaller items that take up less space, like sunglasses and remotes. So sound off in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on it. I always enjoy hearing it. I always enjoy listening to people's reasonings, why they do what they do. And there's always an ability where I can learn something and take something away from it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here and you enjoyed the content, please hit the subscribe button. And if you, like I said, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, because that helps me out huge in the YouTube algorithm. And I'm just trying to share as much information as I can with as many people as possible. So if you like it, we get it out to more people and they get more information. With that said, school's going good. Nothing really big to report there. I'm really, really happy we're getting to spring. I'm really happy that the weather's turning, especially since it's been 55 degrees. I've spent a lot more time this week out here in the garage getting pictures caught up well into the future, getting everything ready to go, and just being ahead of the game. I'm seeing big things that are happening on the horizon. I'm also looking forward to garage sale season. That's going to be starting up here pretty soon, where that's where you get the good deals and you can make a lot of good profit, is when you're picking stuff up for 50 cents and $1 at garage sales. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. So that's all I got for the week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you had a great week. I hope all of you have a great week to come. And remember, no matter what happens, I will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week, everyone. Well, I was right in the middle of recording.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. What's up? You're on camera right now. I might leave this in.
All right. It's try. I think that's what you get for the phone. That's all.
Okay.
I'll call you.
Bye.